woke up this morning, the sky was gray. Another storm, another endless day.
All right, hello everyone. Today we're going to do a short story together. My name is Manon Doucette. I love short story. Sorry, I have nothing prepared because that was John Cresson class. We left him a message, so hopefully he's going to show up with his note. I have no notes at all, but I will do my best on the fly. So I'm going to open all my information here. Give me a second. And I was working on a short story. That's kind of funny. Going to close all these windows, and there we go. Let's get back on this. We're going to start a brand new project. Share desktop Chrome. All right, everyone can see my screen?
Yeah.
Good. All right, so any one of you is brand new to this, or we all here and just here to have fun and learn how to just go story on the fly? I'm newish. Okay, so for the one which are brand new, I cannot do a whole lot of basic teaching, but I'm going to try to go slow. I have to open my other screen. And most of my co-hosts knows I'm a fast speaker normally, so I'm going to try to slow down and move slowly through the screen at the same time. So basically here we are. I'm going to short that up. This on this side. So right now we are on the main screen of Sudowrite, and we're going to go directly inside a new project. Just go click new and project. There we go. So, like I said, I was working on a short story. I was in the mood with a bit of romance and a bit of craziness through it. So if I change my screen, can you see that? Yeah. All right. Like I said, I was working on a short story and I was chat GPT with some idea on a story and a short story at that. And I was asking for a small story that I already had a written part. So I'm going to copy this and bring it inside so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm going to copy this. And that's a story about a author who's writing, and a published author, obviously, and a widow. And there's a love story through it and a bit of craziness which going to happen to it. So let's go in here and let's put this in here so we all having access to that little story, which is called The Letter to Yesterday. And I'm going to share that so you can read it at your own leisure. And I was asking ChatGPT to analyze this and give me more idea to make it more attractive and more banging, you know, and because it's a short story, so you don't have like a whole novel to make it hit to the point right away. So let's share this in the chat. Where's my chat? There it is. Go. So I was on my way to read all that and get that story to make sense. So let's see what I got with ChatGPT. I asked him or it to analyze the letter. So he's give me the overall impression of that letter. And he says it's a poignant and beautiful late story that delves into themes of grief, redemption, and human connection. The narrative, effective, balanced emotional depth with moment of tension, drawing reader into fragile yet hopeful relationship between two deeply broken individuals. Its bitterness tone captured the complexity and the forgiveness and ethical dilemma inherent. So, and as you can tell by just this little analyzing thing, that is the story which everybody is happy and everything is finishing very well. So, and I want more punch the story and keep it small. So our main character is Liam, and the lady name is Eve, and Liam is our writer. So I have information on my two characters that I got him to do for me. So let's get this copy too. So we have that too inside. And because we need to bring work stuff in. So let's get all that. Suggestion, team, mood analyzing, possibly alternative ending. So I got all these, and then he's telling me about the ending, and I says, "No, I want more." So I ask him to even go deeper to this. So I'm going to put this right underneath so we don't have 10,000 sharing. And these are updating as we go. So as soon as I put something in it and you refresh, you're going to get all that information at the same time. So the little story that we got wasn't enough punchy for me, so I got it to do some enhancement. And this is where I was exactly doing the enhancement of that story. So let's get this story in, and we're going to get it to work longer and better inside Sudowrite. Okay. And now were you guys at the same place than I was when I came in and I wanted to see John start going through his classes? All right, so how are we doing so far? Any question on what I'm doing? John's still not around. All right, so someone is in the antique shop. If there's any question or something, my two co-hosts, let me know. That's good, keep going, thank you. So, the letter of yesterday. So the antique shop bell chimed softly as Liam entered, carrying with him the salt-laden breeze from the nearby harbor. The air inside was rich with a sense of polished wood, old books, and time-worth warm memories. Behind the counter, Eve, her finger brushed the edge of the fan. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Guarded smile. I need a bit of space here. We have a conversation. Third time this week, Eve. Need some spacing so I can read better. I'm a bit nervous too when you have absolutely nothing prepared. So I'm sorry if I'm a bit all over the place here. So behind the counter stood Eve, her finger brushing her edge of an old sheet of stationery, the faintest blue ink visible where her hand could not fully hide it. At the sound of the bell, she quickly tucked the paper away into the drawer and offered a guarded smile. Third time this week, Eve said, her voice light but curious. Either you develop a sudden passion for vintage typewriters or you're lost. Writers are always lost, Liam replied, his eyes catching on the royal typewriter in the window display. Its key gleam fainted in the sunlight like a relic and story long since told. He could not bring himself to say more, not about the story. He could not finish, not about Sarah. There's another person. We have Sarah in there. Eve stepped out from behind the counter, her burgundy dress swishing against the wooden floorboard. She suggested to the typewriter, her voice softening. This one from 1947, Daniel found it at an estate sale in Portsmouth. Took him 3 months to restore it. Okay, they restore typewriter. That's an antique store. All right, Daniel. The name lingered in the air like the sense of rain of the horizon, a present felt even in absence of Liam. Glanced at Eve, and as they hover over the typewriter keys. There we have that hovered already. And we all know what that is.
Well, no, you have two questions in chat. Is this a good time?
Yes, it is.
The first one says they're curious about the credits. So maybe if you want to pop open your credit box and show what you've used.
I use 0.
0. So you see that? I think it says Jean. And then Jean has another question, and I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name.
That's okay.
She wants to know, well, her name too, everybody's name. She wants to know, so you can't bring something to Sudowrite and have it parse the text into the storyboard.
Oh, yeah, we can do that. You know that story here? we can bring that inside. I don't know if we have enough words though. Let's see how many words we have. 1,319. So you mean you want to, and it's not finished either. So if I understand well, Jane, you want to know if you had something that you already have written, you want to import it inside Sudowrite and see what Sudowrite will do with it? Is that what you're looking for?
She says yes.
All right. Okay. That's something I was going to teach at the end of this month of February, but there we go. Let's go and do that. On the fly. Let's do this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take all the information from the first one. I'm going to copy that and I'm going to try to go slower. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to bring that into a Word document. I have to bring my up Google. And what I do is I use the Google Drive and I'm going to create a Word document in my Google Drive. And here I'm going to copy everything from my little story plus my little story. Now I have to, that's two, but don't need that, don't need that, don't need that. What is that? I don't need that. Get the story that I have already written, the small start, which I call just a start, and I'm going to put it in the bottom. And now we should have enough words to get a short story to go in, and from there get Sudowrite to work out all the little thing we need. Is there a minimum number of words that can be imported? I think so. I don't know if they fixed that, and I think at some point was let's try it. I'm not sure how many words I have here. Let me find words. That's view number of words. I always have a problem with this. Word count. Display word count. So many we have. Sorry, my screen is so, I have to find the bottom. I have something in front of it. So we have 2,955. It should be fine. So what I'm going to do, and you can tell it's not really finished, I'm going to save this. I'm going to give it a title, it'll be easier. Giving the title of yesterday letter. There we go. I'm going to click on download as a Microsoft Word document. Now it's in there, and we're going to bring that into Sudowrite. So I'm going to go to Sudowrite. I'm going to go back, and I'm going to use the import button right here. So everyone sees that? Click on this, and we import it. So I go in my download. Now we have my little letter. We just take it and bring it in. It's going to work it out. And hopefully sometime when it's a short letter, it's going very slow. Now it's supposed to go fairly faster. That's good. So what he's going to do is going to analyze what we brought in. He's going to find the story and all the genre, and he's going to put them in the right box. And our little short story will be nicely extract to, you see he's doing his outline. Any question during this going?
I'm not sure if that's a question or not.
I'm curious again, the credit. Yeah. The credit is 0 right now. Importing at this point still 0 credit. So if you have manuscript to import, I would do it all of them before they start charging for that, because there's absolutely no credit into the importing, 0. Which is fantastic because you can bring all your work in progress. You're absolutely welcome. So I have quite a few books going on. And you can tell I work in 2 languages. I have French and English, and I normally write 2 books at the same time, one in English, one in French. Obviously on the same thing, like breath work, emotional intelligence. 5 out of 6, we're getting there. Anyone is working on a book that's almost finished and in editing mode during waiting for the extraction? A few seconds ago. Related. I have a question about phrasing. Sudowrite has an habit of repeating the same term, for example, might get repeated in subsequent.
Well, that's a tough one. I can tell you that.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to see if I can answer that at the same time. So it's finished the importation. I'm going to go in. And this is what you see when you come in. So everything that we had is going to be in one folder like this, or the project, or a blank document, but it's going to be in a document. So, and what that do is that give everything in the Story Bible to be able to get the information in this document. It's something that we don't have we cannot do easily any other way. For the repeating of something, when you use auto-write, I would be curious to see if you give any kind of, when you go here, and what do you have in your writing setting for it to repeat some words often? I know in the nonfiction, it can repeat tapestry. And I'm sure everybody's laughing because if you know Sudowrite is using tapestry quite fondly. So you have to go and manually change them. So you just find them and go and ask for different word to replace tapestry. That's an example I would give you. Zedekis, you have no idea on anyone else has any idea on how to stop some of those words to come back?
My experience is even with images, the more you ask it not to give you something, the more it gives you. So I would love to get some good pointers on that one.
I was hoping the word avoid, the AI or any AI don't like to be told not to do something. They're like 8 years old. So if you can find out a positive way to tell the AI that you want, instead of avoiding words, asking to have more vocabulary, something along those lines. And I'm sure some of the people which are very good with the AI, like Miragold, I don't like to put you on a hot plate, but I saw your name. And my 2 co-hosts, maybe you have an idea on how to reword that in a way that the AI will not repeat a word like tapestry or something like that.
Well, what I tend to do is I'll reword the prompt if I have to, and specifically not mention that thing at all instead of saying not to do it. And sometimes I have to be creative in the way I prompt. So that's my advice. That's what I do.
Okay.
So we're talking about two different things. One is looping that you guys mentioned, which is where you have repeated scenes or repeated sentences, maybe 4 or 5 sentences, or maybe whatever, a couple dozen. And the other one, of course, is the repetition of using words that the AI seems to be fond of, like you mentioned, tapestry, determination, et cetera, et cetera. So first of all, with looping, that can happen because your beats aren't giving it what it needs, because the people behind the scene have asked the AI to deliver X amount of words per beat, or X amount of words per stride. For those of you that don't know, a stride is 2 beats. So it's going to deliver what it's been asked to deliver. And if you haven't given it enough in the beats, it's going to try to create something of its own, or it's going to loop. And if you have given it too much, the same thing. What's the magic number? Good luck. When you know, you let me know. But you'll find a way to work. The other thing that impacts this is the LLM that you're using. So as you've noticed, there's a bunch of large language models that Sudowrite is pulling from, and each one is going to have its own idiosyncrasy, right? Some of them are going to do this, some of them are going to do that. So those problems, I think, in my experience, and Marigold can jump in, are specific to each one. So some do better than others. My experience, the cheaper the AI, or I should say the LLM that you are using, well, you get what you pay for, right? But that's not always 100% the case. I guess what I'm trying to say, and I'm going to stop real soon, Manal, because this is your class. Well, John's, but now yours, is there's no guarantee. You just have to test and try, and keep in mind that some things, because the LLM is not as advanced as it could be, or because it's trained on a lot of stuff, some of it old stuff, some of it crap. Sorry to say it that way, but some writing is crap. We know that. We've done it. We all have written crap ourselves. So based on what it's trained on, based on where it's at in sophistication in terms of creation, you're not going to get consistency unless you try and train. And Mirago wants to know the question. So this is a really good time for me to shut up and let y'all take over, because I've spoken more than I planned to.
You did a fantastic job. So Marigold, the thing is one of our students is asking, when he's using the auto write, he's having a word coming back often. It's like me when I work inside the nonfiction, and the AI likes to say that we're living in a world of tapestry of people, and we're weaving a tapestry of beautiful feelings. The word tapestry is very loved by the AI. So he's looking to a way to get that repetition to stop. So, and I'm at the same point too. What's in the genre? Oh, but the person who's asking, Justin, can you tell us is that Justin who has the question? Yeah, Justin, can you tell us what is the genre you're working in? Sci-fi. And Jane says the word kaleidoscope keep repeating in hers. And I'd like to know also which model you're using, guys, for having all those repetition.
So one of the things that I do is that I look and see what I have in my genre box. Because if I have romance in there, then I'm going to consistently have phrasing like, we're in this together, or together we're going to do this, or let's do this. If I am maybe I'm writing with an SFR, I will have other catchphrases that the LLMs that were trained tend to latch onto. So one of the ways that I avoid that is if I notice that I'm having something consistently like that, or phrasing or a word that keeps coming up like determined, I find that anytime I have anything remotely like romance inside of my genre box, I do tend to see those words over and over again. So always take a look at what's in your genre. And if you have some very specific um, genres in there, start playing around with some of those. So like right there, you have bittersweet romance. So chances are you're going to see things like, you know, together always coming up. The characters might have determined eyes, they might say something in a determined way. Start removing some of the stuff from your genre because that can impact your chapter. Now, does that mean get rid of all of it? No, but play around with some of that to see what's working because it will really focus on that.
Anything you think we can do with the style?
In the style, I will generally put down how I want something written, or like first person, third person, present, past tense, if I want it to be gritty, if I want it to be edgy, if I want vernacular to be used, I might put that kind of stuff in there. But again, I would look at the genre and see what you have in the genre if you're having repeat content. Like WordSpinner said, piercing blue eyes. If you have piercing blue eyes all the time or eyes that are always piercing, look at your character list and make sure that you don't have something in your character list that is driving the AI to use those phrases over and over again.
Thank you. All right, so let's see what we can do with that short story. For the repetition, I think we give you quite a bit of information there. We're going to play with this thing and see if we get a lot of those repetitions. So for me, in my in my setting, I like to use balance, and I told it that I want the AI to use a good variety of vocabulary, please. I'm hoping that will help to not having those repetitive word in the writing. So we'll see how that goes. They comb their hands through their hair. Oh, okay. So, and I asked to go in the middle, so not the less creativity, not the most. I will leave it in the middle, and I use balance. These days, I'm having a good time with balance, so I will keep on balance. Some of you, I see you using excellent, and you're still having a lot of those repetition in it. So I'm going to leave the chat to my co-host. Let me know if there's something very, very important to work on, and I'm going to see if we can work on a bit that our short story to keep on task a little bit here. So our short story, we have all our information, obviously, that he brought in. He did our story Bible, and as you can see, the story Bible, the brain dump is empty. I like to use my brain dump as when I develop the story, I'm going to put my information, and often I put my prompt in my brain dump. So my AI command, I put them there so they're easy to catch, or I put them into an empty things, an empty document. So he already told us the genre, and like Marigold said, it's a bit long. It's giving us a lot of information: contemporary fiction, literary fiction, emotional drama, grief and loss, redemption. Oh my gosh, I'm falling asleep just I'm reading that one. So I like the character driven, that I will keep. Bittersweet romance I will keep also, because that's what I asked when I did start the whole thing today. Introspective narrative. So basically they're going to think for themselves and think, okay. Leave it there for now, see what the AI will do with it. It's called Dilemma. Anyone used that one before? It's called Dilemma. Is it going to make a good story, or is it going to be like a mushy, boring story if I leave it there?
Just keep in mind that anything in your genre might come up in every single generation that you come up. So there might be an ethical dilemma in every single generation.
Okay. It's a writer and a widow. I think it's probably going to show up in the first 2 chapters, and after that, we're going to be able to remove it. So let's keep this one in mind. So that dilemma is going to be something that I will remove at some point. I'm going to put it into an empty document to remind myself to remove it. Let's go back in here. So we have the human connection. Well, it's 2 people. Obviously, going to be a human connection. That's going to turn mushy. Redemption? No, I don't want redemption yet. That's going to be at the end. So that I already know. Forgiveness at the end, not right away. What else? Contemporary fiction, literary fiction. Which one do you think is better to keep, the contemporary or the literary? Literary. I like the emotional drama. I like the grief, ethical dilemma. We'll see how that goes. introspective, character-driven, bitten with sweet romance. These two, I'm a bit, don't know which one to keep and which one to remove. Idea?
So where do you feel that it falls under the most? Is it a contemporary body of work? What other genres does it fall under?
I think you will go under the literary more. Contemporary, it's going to be, contemporary will be more boring than the literary, or do I have it the other way around?
Jean asked a good question. She said, isn't your story 1947 and not contemporary?
Yeah, if it's 1947, it can't be contemporary because contemporary would be
Earlier,
current.
a lot
So
more recent.
it can be historical if it's 1947. So you would want somewhere in there, you would want to indicate what the time frame was or the era.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Jane, for pointing that out.
And there's also contradictions between style and genre that we probably need to look at.
Yeah, the third person POV past tense, not my favorite tense at all. I'm a person who likes to have one of my character to speak all the time. So I'm a first person POV writer. Person POV, and I like it present tense or variative tense, but I like present tense more. So I bring my reader present tense, casual, irreverent tone, zero fuck given. Okay, that might not work with the era. But that can be cocasse and funny at the same time. I'm kind of wonder if we play with this one. Raw and unfiltered dialogue. So, okay, she works in the antique store in the 1947. Something is not right here. Right, this. This one from 1947, that's a typewriter. And the other one is where? Are they both saying 1947 for the typewriter? Where's the other one? I think we're talking about the typewriter, not the year of the story. Okay, so it's not the year of the story, it's a typewriter year. Unless they get us to jump in the future or in the past, we don't know exactly when the story is happening. Let's see what he gave us in the world building. And this is what I like about importing your story. You can go check, and because it's a story that I just started this morning or just before the class, like just 30 minutes before the class, I was playing with that story. So I'm in the dark as much as you guys on this one. So the shop is there, cocoon, the wood, floor plan, the Victorian era. Okay, location, Victorian era, storefront feature, large display window, framed by dark wood with yesterday treasure painted in gold leaf. Inside the space open into a mesa-like arrangement of room with tall wooden shelf creating intimate alcove and hidden corner. The front era house, glass display case contains small treasure. With the back room feature large furniture piece, the floor to ceiling bookshelf, a small reading nook near the window, finishing armchair, providing cozy spot, morning coffee, the counter area, including a small kitchenette, tuck discrepancy behind the antique screen. The result between creating arrangement furniture pieces greater and little past browsing while maintaining a hair discovery. I don't see any kind of era in this. The arbor, the waterfront location, the arbor curve. See if you see something which will give us more a time of the era, or won't we ask the AI? Let's ask the AI when this story is happening. Ctrl-K. Everyone know how to work with the chat inside Sudowrite? You do your Ctrl-K or Command K, quick chat, and let's ask quick chat when this story is going on. So, can you tell me the era of this story, please? The story appeared to be in a contemporary time. The character used modern technology such as Liam novel is published and then withdrawn, indicate the current day setting. The focus of the typewriter and the antique letter add a nostalgia to the elements. So it's happening in today's days kind of era. So let's copy this. Anything else you think I should ask the AI about this? Yes, hard to buy a 1947 typewriter that's true. You get that right, Jane. All right, so we know that's in today's era. Let's solve this. Let's put that inside. You should be able to keep it in mind. So this is the top of our story, the final thought, the letter of yesterday, the antique bell chime. This is where the story starts. So I'm going to give it the information. This is the first time I do that, adding to the import. So hopefully it's going to read it. Let's see what it's doing with our credit at the same time. So the quick chat is 0, the importing is 0. So far we are all at 0. Even the story Bible and everything we've done so far is 0. We're doing pretty good. All right, so we're still good with all that in our style box. First, POV, present tense, description, poignant yet under narrative, focus and action, focus and realism, full of grit. Anything in the style box you think we should change? Because I want this story to punch, and that's why I use that style here. I want something punching today, so I think that's pretty good. If you see something I should change, let me know. Okay, I don't see anything. All right, our synopsis. In a quaint coastal Liam childhood, an antique shop stand as a repository. Copy this so you guys can read it. This is our information. I'm going to click a new document and put this so you can read it also. Share this so you guys can read it. And you probably can read it faster than me trying to read. Right. So let's see this synopsis. The quaint postal antique shop story. Sister Sarah, tragic death encountered by Eve, shop owner who's the grief. As Liam visit the shop grow more frequent, become a captivating, stunning Eve. Tragic death, poignant exploration of love and loss. Liam again. Okay, he's going to use her letter to start his manuscript. Writing to a ghost and a man drowning in secret takes shape. A morning coffee date with Eve evolve into an evening walk along the piers. Where's the setting sun? We're going to have that obviously inside the story. Matter of their new funds, trust. Just let you know, I just came back from the dentist on top of that. So that makes things a bit harder to read on top. What
So
a
you're
day.
saying it's a good day today, huh?
Oh my goodness. Couldn't have been a better day. 3 fill-in and a surprise class. What do I say? All right, Marigold, you want to explain what you put in the chat, please?
So,
Okay.
in order for me to know what was going on in the story, I needed to break it down to see exactly what the synopsis meant. So, to do that, of course, you need to read it, but I just took the whole thing, plugged it into Chat GPT, or
Mhm.
you can put it in the quick chat. And all I did was ask the AI just one simple question, which was, what can you tell me about this fiction synopsis? So it broke it down. Some of the things that we need to know are what are the settings? What's the atmosphere? The story is set, as you said, in the quaint coastal town. It provides that nice picture, that reflective backdrop for the drama. It has an antique shop, so we know that we're going to need to take a look at that. It's filled with relics of the past. It also serves as that central symbol for memory loss that evidently one of the characters is going to be undergoing, and it kind of anchors the story. So, why do I like to do this? I like to do this because it helps me understand the story, and then it will also help me understand maybe what I need to wrap into some of my beats at any given time during a specific chapter. We know who our characters are. We have Liam, a writer who is grappling with guilt over his sister Sarah's death. His character is on that journey of healing, so we know a little bit more about him. We also know that Eve is the widow and shop owner that writes letters to her deceased husband. So they're both dealing with death or grief and trying to find a way to cope. Um, Looking at the plot and the conflict, we know that we have to take a look at both Liam and Eve and how, they've kind of formed this bond over time and how that's going to impact the story overall. We can also look at the conflict that arises, the resolutions. So those are some of the things that I like to know about whenever I'm working on a story. And it helps me better understand the context of what it is that I'm needing to generate. Looking at the themes, we know that the story questions the moral implications of using real people's experiences in art. So that is definitely something that I did not know whenever I first came in, because I kind of came into this late. So we also know that there's themes of healing and forgiveness. We know that there are also feelings of that interpersonal connection. So some of that's going to be highlighted. And then we did find out what the 1947 um, date was. It's that typewriter that symbolizes that connection between the past and what's happening today in the present. So those are kind of some of the things that I need to understand whenever I'm going to be plotting something out, especially with a story that I'm not familiar with.
Mhm. Perfect. Thank you so much. So that's
Sure.
another way to go. You basically she took the synopsis and brought it inside ChatGPT and asked ChatGPT to break it down for her. Um, that's a bit what happened too in the story Bible. If you go in and you read every character, every box, it's going to give you the same but longer, less condensed information about the story, what character are all about. So now we have Daniel, which is here too, which is part of the story. We have two Daniel. So we have one Daniel, two Daniel. So what's this guy and what's the other guy? So one is Daniel and one is Daniel Reed. So the letter to yesterday region of extended version. And what's the other guy? So this guy is the same person. Now, why is it there twice? Now, that's where we have to figure out why the AI put it there twice. Is it because something in the importation of the information, or is there some kind of story from the letter and story from today which is going to happen? Because one of them has a last name and the other one doesn't have a last name. So if something like that happen, obviously go and read everything properly. So they both Virgo, male. Let's see, not specific here. Why did he put it twice? Or you'd simply take the decision to keep one and put the other one as an absentee. As just taking it here and say don't use it. I will have to go and find more information on why it's there twice. Catalyst presence through the memories, absence, drive, Eve, emotional journey, and influence to the story exploration of the grief and healing.
Now,
Here,
sometimes it will pull in duplicate, especially if the AI gets confused. If a first and last name are used, and then later on the character is brought in again and the AI gets confused, it might think that there are two characters with the same name, or it
yeah,
might glitch and bring it in twice or
yeah,
3 times sometimes.
yeah. I have the same thing. When we import a series, is doing that. So my guess is the same person, because they're talking about the restoration of the typewriter, something about the letters, unless someone sees something else I haven't seen, is a minor. Here says influence background character, and here is a minor character. So we'll put an eye on this one to not use this one and use that one, because now he's having a nickname, he's having a zodiac sign, he has more information on this one than the other one. Nothing stops us to get the other one back, and often enough, even with this, the AI sometimes bring them in anyway. So, and we're still supposed to talk about a short story, and we did a long story with it. So, I see any question in the chat about all that?
No, I don't see anything currently.
So I know we're almost on the hour, so if any one of you decide that they want to go, you can go. I will keep going and get this story onto a chapter to have at least a start of a short story and show you how we do a little bit with this, so we can try to stay on the information and how we did import and try to keep it short. And I'm sorry that John didn't show up. I'm going to keep on going, and you'll receive an email asking you for your feedback. I did my best. Hopefully you did learn something. So thank you for being here. I'm going to keep on going. You're welcome to stay, ask questions. We're all here to have fun at the same time. So thank you, and let's keep on having fun here. Any question, you just ask, raise your hands, and you're welcome, Jane. Thank you, Jude. All right, so we have our antique shop, which is we know it's our setting. Yesterday Treasure is the name of the shop. We have the arbor and the pier. So the arbor is the sense with constant gentle presence, the rip of the leaping water. So the arbor and the pier normally similar, or is it like? Is my English so bad that is there a difference between a pier and a harbor? The harbor is where the boats are and the pier is where people walk.
That would be correct. But
Yes.
it will, because the pier is located in the harbor.
So we have two locations, but both in the harbor. And
Mhm.
the item in question, which seems to be center of the story, is the royal typewriter, and the clue of it is the letter, which keep with our story. Thank you, Jane. Liam, unpublished letter to Sarah. collective of handwritten on various types of paper, the notebook, from a notebook page from a proper stationery. Unsent. The unsent, so that letter was never sent. It's going to be interesting when you bring that letter, because I'm going to ask the AI when you bring it in to actually write the letter so we can see what's inside of it. Liam novel publication, because we know it's going to go from that letter and make a book, a roman, or a novel. And somehow, I guess, from the story is going to publish and not tell Eve, our girl, Eve, yeah, that is doing it. And that's where the problem going to arrive. So, the letter of yesterday, the original version. The story begins in an antique shop where Liam and the toys are getting fought over the sister Sarah's death. So, his sister is dying, encounter Eve, the shop owner, secret write letter on deceased husband Daniel. Liam discover one of Eve. Sorry, I just heard something. No, I thought maybe that could be. Sorry, I got this in the middle of the screen. All right. Daniel, together, process rebuilding, analyzing. Wait a sec. This chapter provides a critical examination of the story theme, structure, and impact. It begins with an overall impression. Nothing. The story's poignant exploration. That makes no sense. This is basically an analysis of the story. So it's taking from the information we brought from ChatGPT and is putting that as a chapter. So this chapter, I don't think we're going to use this. Offer suggestion, enhanced chapter, include mood, and no, we don't need that. Okay, we're going to delete it for now. If you delete something and you want it later, you normally can go back in the trash and get it back from the trash. So we should be fine with that. He's doing funny stuff. And as you can see, it's a short story. So we only have the original version and the extended version, because I did go twice in ChatGPT and it says continue writing. The story was too short. So it's going to give us 2 chapters on the short story. All right. Everyone at the same time. Let's get this on the road. We're going to see what it's going to give us. I'm going to create the first chapter and see what is going to give us there. All right. So we have our first chapter, and I wanted to generate some beats. So Sarah's this owner secretly. I'm kind of crushing the time together so we don't. I want to start up the story. Liam, one Eve letter, shelf become fascinated, pushes that typewriter. And I wanted to start fairly quickly on the story, and I want a boring story to start with. I forgot the. All right, let's see what it's going to say. Now I'm going to check the dialogue. Start by entering the shop. His eyes scanning the room. Something he can quiet. Name you feel a familiar weight. Okay, so here I'm going to follow what one of the other teachers doing. Remove although he, she, they. Normally we put his name to make sure the AI doesn't bring someone else in. So begin with Liam entering the yesterday treasure, the antique shop, his eyes. So Liam eyes scanning the room for something he can quiet. Liam can quiet. Name. Liam feel the family weight of guilt pressing down on him. Should be good to leave this one there, right? A constant companion since Sarah's death. The second one, introduce Eve, which is at the cashier, as she. Oh, we have Eve twice. Introduce Eve as Eve. Greet Liam with nod. Eve demeanor. Professional yet distance. Eve is busy. Arranging a display of vintage clock, a movement precise and deliberate, reflecting her guarded nature. Reflecting Eve, guarded nature. As Liam browsed the shop, Liam accidentally knocked a book off the shelf, revealing a hidden letter. His curiosity piqued. That's when he got the letter that was under the counter inside the first story. His curiosity, so Liam, curiosity piqued. Liam. This is the boring part of having to fix all the beats. Picked up a feeling of max. Sometimes I take my beats and bring them in ChatGPT and get all these things fixed with ChatGPT also. Manually or with chat or other way. We all have our way to get these fixed up. A mix of intrigue and guilt as Liam. Read Eve, heartfelt words to her. Okay, to her late. That's Eve. Eve letter, late husband, Daniel. Capture Liam and Eternal, so I guess he's going to talk to himself on this one as a debate whether to return to the letter or keep it. His letter and his writer instinct. Liam, writer's instinct kick in, seeing the raw emotion and potential source of inspiration for his struggling manuscript, and is going to take the wrong decision. That's where thing will turn. All right. As I'm doing that and you're reading, do you see something that we could fix or change at the same time? Who stays with me? Marigold, word spinner, Zedicus.
So one of the things that you can also do if you're not sure if what it's given you is inclusive of everything that is needed in your short story, you can do a check. You can have it evaluated. You can copy all of these beats, go back into the quick chat and ask it to evaluate the flow of the beats and make sure that there's continuity.
Where did you say to do that?
Say that again, Zed.
I asked where did you say you could do that?
Oh, inside of either quick chat, or you can also go into any other LLM that you use.
Thank you.
So reevaluate the beats and what?
And check for continuity.
That's really good. Thank you. I like that a lot.
Yeah, one of the things, especially if you're going to be running your strides, which is always going to be 2 beats at a time, if you're going to use an LLM that looks at like beat 1 and 2 and generates beat 3 and 4, you also want to make sure that your beats flow well as strides. So you want to take a look at your beat 1 and 2. Do they go together? Then take a look at your beat 3 and 4. Do those go together? Is there a break in between? So you can also ask chat, those questions as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, can you look at beats and pair and
Make sure that there are transitions.
work well or flow well?
Smoothly. Just say, make sure that the transitions flow smoothly from one stride to the next.
Does he understand strides? Or prose? Not sure if he's going to be able to do all that in the same time. Let's see. I'm doing it in Sudowrite, but normally I would take it and put it into ChatGPT. But in the class, they like us to stay in Sudowrite, so I'm going to test it in Sudowrite. To continue to check, Liam and Shell discover the letter. Eve sets the stage, emotional journey. Transition. Beat 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8. Kind of funny, instead of doing 1, 2, 3, wait a sec. 1, 2. After that is 2. Oh, what is it doing? Now he's writing the beat 5. Okay, now I lost it. All right, so we ask these beats. We probably should have put, so beat 1 and 2. Continue to check. Sure thing, the transition smoothness. The leap from discovery of the letter to buying the typewriter is logic and well paced. It demonstrates Liam increased investment without rushing his emotional state. Then he goes to 3, so instead of go 3, 4. All right.
So it looks like it was checking it in strides, but then also checking from between the two strides.
Yeah, and after that it start writing. So I'm going to copy this anyway, and put it down. That's an interesting turn of event anyway. All right, copy. And to put at the end of our beats. Interesting what he did. Sorry if I scroll and make you dizzy. So you see that that's working pretty good. 1 and 2. It's smooth, the leap from the discovery. That works pretty good. Now 2 and 3. After you purchase the typewriter, the next logic step is to show how Liam and Eve relationship develop the morning coffee ritual. Those 2 beats. So Liam browse the shop. I have that. To get this off. Oh. All right, so we did the first 2. We were on beat 3. So Liam browsing, guild, they found a letter, capture. So I don't know where you see the coffee and the ritual in this. It's not there. Then you've purchased in beat 5. So that didn't really work inside this one. Let's see what it's doing inside the other one. So if we take those beats again, I will go get them and bring them into the real ChatGPT and see if it's going to do better. Because it got lost here. Question that we ask, can you back inside the chat?
And I would change the end of that where it says prose. I would change that from 1 beat to the next,
Yeah.
or 1 stride to the next.
Here I've relayed the flow from one prose to next from one stride.
And you might want to give it an example of what a stride is, like 1, 2, comma, 3, 4.
You understand that one?
You have strike, change that to stride.
Oh, stride. All right. Good. Let's see if we can get this better like that. I'm going to get my fingers slapped. Oh yeah, that's better. I will try it back again with stride instead in Sudowrite, see if it's going to work after. Leave it work here. So Liam, define emotional. So they suggest to have more emotional barrier, okay. Subtle parallel. 3 and 4, transition from Liam accidentally discovering the letter. At least it's following the beats here.
Hey, Manon,
Yep.
Wordspinner made a really good point here in the chat. She said that when you ask the AI to double check continuity of the beats, you still want to take a look at that because the AI can still make mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Definitely. Going to do the same thing again over here. I'm going to start a new one because I don't want it to.
Manon, you have a question.
Yeah.
One of the attendees wants to know if you're paying for ChatGPT or using the free version.
We're using the free version. That one is on, it's off, so it's free.
Inside of ChatGPT, I think she was
Oh, in
asking.
ChatGPT, I am a paid member of ChatGPT. So if you want to use the, how that work now when you don't have the I have no idea that before that was the 3 or 3.5 was free. How that work? Anyone has the free version?
I use the paid.
Me too. So I don't really have the answer, but I know in the past many people were using the free one and just keep you normally have 8 questions per so many hours. Mini when your cap is met. Okay. In free. Yeah, 404 mini is supposed to be very reasonable. That's probably the one which is free these days, the 40, the 01 mini. In the past, I used the free version, and in the past, it was even less advanced than we have now. And I remember we had the limit of 8 questions, and I think Claude is the same. And Claude was like inside an hour, you had 8 questions, and after that, you have to wait 30 minutes before you can ask more questions. So, okay, it's still like ChatGPT 4 legacy. So that one. Okay. We can try with 4 legacy to see what that looked like.
It should basically be the same though.
I think it should be the same too. So where's my, I did ask, oh, I didn't have time to click. Did you give me an answer? No, it didn't in the chat inside here. It didn't follow the stride. So inside ChatGPT, the ChatGPT inside the Sudowrite, maybe I had to reject that. I'm going to highlight everything and ask the question with the highlight of all the beats. And ask the question again. So that is okay. Where is it? Ask again. And this is the free version. Should do the same thing than the other chat. Oh, I'm on Quick Edit. That's the problem. That's my mistake. So reject. We don't want that. We want chat. Where is it again? After that, I will stop because we are way past the 1 hour mark. Hope you did learn a little bit. So thank you so much, Marigold and Word Spinner, and Zedicus is gone.
I didn't even notice he left. Whoops.
So what do we have with this here in the proper way? So it's doing beats 1 and 2. Then 3 and 4. Okay, that works better with this. So he understands stride better than prose. All right, we learned something here. So in the free version inside Sudowrite, you can use that sentence, which I will share also that as soon as you finish writing. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the free version. It's stop writing, then you have to keep asking to continue writing. Well, imagine just doing the same thing in the free version. You have to keep asking to continue. Thank you, Jude. And then he's doing he's doing the beat 8. He's having a problem with one of the beat. He's doing a story instead of did the same thing twice. And continue writing. So when we use this one. Sometimes I'm going to ask. Finish. He's doing stories. Yeah, I saw the typo. Well, the ChatGPT is intelligent enough. He knows when we do typo at least. So it's almost done. Yeah, you can tell it to continue at one beat in particular. Doesn't know if it's going to listen, but it should, depend on the day. All right, I'm going to stop it here because now it's going off rail. All right, so I'm going to copy this if I can, including the comment. I really wish they had that copy button for the chat. It saves us so much time. can tell it's going off rail. It's still working on beats, but it's not exactly what we're looking for. It's still going. That was on one. Oh. No, it's not listening to me. Is there a way to get that chat, guys? Is it at all? No, it's everything. The background is going to be copied too. To try anyway. No, it doesn't want to copy. Sorry, it's a bit problematic. When that happens, I'm going to copy as much as I can and then put it in. There. Oh, it's going to work. There we go. And that's this one here. I'm going to have to refresh because I lost my tool on top. That's one problem I have with my Sudowrite. I have to refresh often to get my tools back. And so I'm going to share this part. So you can also, guys, play with it. And we've been together for 1 hour and a half on the class. I wasn't ready. So I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to stop the recording. So thank you so much for all your patience and be with me all that time. So let's stop this and we can just chat a little bit and then go eat dinner.
We're off to lands where magic grows, where every tree and flower knows a secret waiting to be found, with every step on enchanted ground. Oh, we are the brave, we are the bold, with hearts of courage pure as gold. We'll find the light in the darkest night, with friendship as our guiding light. The compass spins and off we go, to islands where the sunstones glow, with riddles, rivers, stars and trees. Our quest is carried on the breeze. Oh, we are the brave, we are the bold, with hearts of courage pure as gold. We'll find the light in the darkest night, with friendship as our guiding light. Hold tight, dear friends, we're never lost. No matter what, we'll pay the cost. For magic lives in those who dare to dream and show how much they care. Oh, we are the brave, we are the bold, with hearts of courage pure as gold. We'll find the light in the darkest night, with friendship as our guiding light. Hold tight, dear friends, we're never lost. No matter what, we'll pay the cost. For magic lives in those who dare to dream and show how much they care. Oh, we are